Hi, my name is Juan David Silva Garzon. I'm currently studying bachelor's degree in foreign languages with an emphasis in English. I'm currently in my fourth semester, and today I'm going to talk about the experience I had with my practices. First of all, I would like to say that it was really nice. I learned a lot. I met different people between students, teachers, and the organizers or people who work in the school. I was in the Institución Educativa Distrital León 13 Chiloé, and this school is located in Soacha, Cundinamarca. It is close to my house. It's approximately like less than a kilometer, so it's really easy for me to come there and do my practices. I worked or I did my practice with the students that were part of the grades 6th and ninth, most likely with 903, 902, 901, 601, 603, and also some of them were trying to gain knowledge and try to pass the year because they came from a virtual activity or from a virtual environment. So most of them had to go to the school to present some classes and some evaluations. I also worked with the eighth grade. I also prepared a class. I did a class. It was on a Friday. It was really nice because it was my first class. I had never created or done any class, so it was my first experience. It was really nice because I learned a lot. I could interact with the children. I could see what's their needs. I could see what were the materials they need in order to improve their skills. And that was pretty much everything about the experience, the overall experience I had with the school. So right now I'm going to talk about some questions that we have here. And the first one will be, did you perceive that the teacher planned every class or she rather improvising decision? Is that planning or improvisation successful or not? Explain why. I think yes. Teacher Julio, I was working with teacher Julio. He's a very nice person. He's very friendly. He likes to help people. He is very generous with his students, first of all. And yes, I think he did prepare his classes. He always had material. I started the first classes, it was online, so everything was virtually, and he had some materials. He had a Word document, and he included some charts, including the topics they will or they saw before, and it was related to tenses like present perfect, present simple, past perfect, past simple, and this was a well structured material because he knew that the student will need this information and it will encourage learners to practice more and gain knowledge. So yes, he did prepare the classes before starting them, and I'll say that yes, the content they prepare or the teacher prepare himself, it was accurate because it matches the students' skills. It was really hard because he told me that um, working in virtual environments or studying in virtual environments is a little bit hard for students. They don't keep their attention into the class. They used to leave the classes. They don't come in, or they just give excuses and they avoid the classes. So it was very hard. Um, it was almost 2 years since the pandemic started. So they have been or they had been studying around 2 years through computers. So actually, they didn't learn a lot. They had a low um, language domain. They didn't have any like qualities or any benefits that they can show up in the classes. So I could see that they need like an extra effort in order to gain skills and learn much more. So the teacher always brought the right information in order to catch the students' attention. And yes, they usually participated, and it was really nice because some of them were like in the top of the topic, so they could domain the topic, but the rest of the students didn't participate. So I will say that they didn't have the enough skills to understand the topic. Okay, going to the next question. What pedagogical skills do you highlight of the English teacher? All right. I wouldn't say that is a pedagogical skill. It's more slightly related to his personality. He's a really nice person. He's always willing to help his students, and he has a great approach with his students. So anytime they have a question or they don't understand a topic, he's like in front of them, checking, making sure they are understanding. So that's like a great approach. Yeah, it will be related to pedagogical skills because he's confirming that students are learning. So he asked them, for example, well, are you sure? Are you sure that this is the verb, or are you sure that the sentence is right? So that was really nice. The next question will be, what were the general attitudes of students towards the English class, their teacher and classmates? What do you think that happens? Okay, as I said before, some of them participated, they had a good attitude. It was the same. In virtual environments and in the school, because I went to the school for like almost 3 weeks. So some of them, like a few of them, participated, they asked questions, they did the activity, but others, like I don't know, maybe the 60% of the students didn't participate, they didn't ask questions, so they didn't have like a good engagement with the activities shown by the teacher or the materials. So I will try to create another activity so the students can be interested in getting information or getting the language skills, talking about learning English. So I will swap the pedagogical material I have, something more visual, something that can promote their listening, their writing, their reading, all the skills they can work on. So he did a good job. He created like a printed material, leads of birds, but I will do it something extra so I can keep their attention. Okay, the next question will be, do you consider students learned thanks to the teacher's skills? Why or why not? Well, some of them, yes, thanks to the skills that the teacher had, they learn. They could recognize tenses, they could write sentences in present simple, they could understand the verbs and the usage of them. But some other, like as I said before, almost the 60% of the students, they didn't even know um, what the topic was about. So it was really hard because I saw that they need like an extra effort or they need something else that can help their knowledge or can help them understand the language. So I will say that the teacher will need to create different materials or try to create different pedagogical skills in order to provide a, a good didactic approach, so students can have like different things to do like games, write write things in their notebooks, or just see what the teacher is doing in the board, or have flashcards or anything. And I can say that it was a really hard experience for the teacher as well, because he wasn't prepared. He had to come back to the school. Uh, let's say the director of the school told the teachers they will need to come the next day, so they didn't have enough time to have physical material like flashcards, any work material printed, so they didn't have the resources. So it was a complex situation, but teacher Julio could face those inconveniences and try to work upon the knowledge he had before and his practice in the past when he was working in the physical site. Okay, the next question will be, will you change anything in the teacher's attitude? What and why? Actually, no. I wouldn't change anything in the attitude because, as I said before, he was very friendly. He was always supporting their kids. It's evident that they feel secure and they don't feel any pressure in the English class. They can joke with the teacher or make jokes about the teachers. It's a good environment. Everything is based on the respect, so everyone respects each other's, and that's really great. It's a peaceful environment, and the attitude is really nice. He's always willing to help. Maybe there is just one thing that I will suggest, and is that the teacher may try to work on bringing the attention of all the students, or trying to create collaborative spaces in which students can, all of them can participate and share knowledge and share experience, so it will be a significant learning process. All right, the next question will be, in the case that the students are not very fluent in English, why do you think that happens? It is pretty evident that the virtually or the students inconvenience, or the problems they had with technology. Some of them didn't have a computer, didn't have internet connection, so it was really hard because some of them were working in papers and others in computers, and others they had to work with short materials teachers could develop. So it wasn't like a standard learning program in English, and they didn't have um, like a high level, or they didn't have good English skills, because I will say that for being in a ninth grade, you should be able to communicate what you think, to communicate your feelings, to talk about your family, your personal experience, and the things you know about the people you meet, or the people you know, the people you have shared anything in the past. But unfortunately, they didn't have those skills. So I will say that it was related to the pandemic, because the students didn't have the resources. They didn't have enough resources, and the teacher couldn't be like at the students' back, checking if they were actually studying and learning. Okay, so let's go to the last question. which skills did the teacher encourage the most in students? Writing, speaking, listening, or reading? Why do you think he's or she focuses mostly on that or those particular skills and not in all of them? Well, I could see that he focuses on grading and reading. When he was doing classes through his computer, he was focused on grading and reading through different materials he had in a Word document. He had like tests and charts, as I said before, and also he had some evaluations or Google Forms quizzes that they had to fill, and they could develop their grading skills. So I didn't see like enough participation regarding speaking or listening. I didn't see those activities in the classes I participated in, but it's evident that the teacher had to face different inconvenience due to the students' needs. So I will say that I think if he focused on reading and grading, because that's the easiest way to gain knowledge by reading, repeating, translating. So those activities he did in the classes through his computers and in the presential classes in the school um, were pointing out the importance of getting vocabulary and knowledge through grading and reading. Okay, all right, so that will be all. And last but not least, I will say that this was a great experience. I learned a lot from those children. It was really nice. They were very happy. They asked me for help, and I felt very comfortable. I did a class, so it was really good because I didn't expect to create a class and develop it, but it was really nice. And I'm pretty sure the next semester will be amazing because I will be with some of the students I know. So yes, I'm very excited for that, and that will be all. Thank you so much.